So welcome. I'm Sally Rideout, Government Affairs Specialist for the Southwest Indiana Chamber of Commerce. We're talking today with Jeff Worthington, a candidate, current school board member of the Evansville-Vanderburgh School Board running for re-election. And we're joined by Tara Barney, the President and CEO of the Southwest Indiana Chamber. And I'm going to turn the conversation over to you, Tara, at this point.
Thanks, Sally, and welcome, Jeff. Thank you for spending some time with us. And thank you for your service to the school board. We appreciate it. I want to just start out with an obvious question. Our school district has faced some pretty significant surprise expenses thanks to the pandemic, and I know that the budget is going to be very tight. So far, the state's held fast, but tight times are coming. Can you speak a little bit about what priorities you think are most critical to protect as far as supporting the resourcing of the school district, and where you might see some opportunities to adjust if you need to make some cuts?
Well, the safety is obviously our number one concern. We got to make sure they're in a safe environment. Students, staff, teachers, everybody. We got to do everything we can to keep them in a brick and mortar setting. There's too many kids that have absolutely no support at home who get nothing if they're not in that classroom. So we have to do everything we can to get there. One of our challenges is going to be the number of students that haven't showed up to either the school setting or the virtual. So we're going to could lose somewhere in the $4 million range in funding from the state students. So there's going to have to be some adjustments made. Luckily, we've kept our rainy day fund. We try to keep that in the 10 to 11% of our budget in the savings there. So hopefully we won't have to dip into that. But if we do, that's what it's for. It would definitely be a rainy day.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, thank you. That's going to be, I think, an important conversation in the legislative session coming up as well.
Yeah.
So as a business community, we are constantly attentive on the importance of increasing educational attainment in all of our citizens. And that, of course, starts with our youngest citizens. If we're going to compete successfully in the global economy, it's not just a high school diploma, which is critical, but it's that training beyond high school, that next credential, whatever it is, that's going to be critical to us meeting our regional goals and being globally relevant. If you could rewrite the education, workforce programs, and processes that you deal with day in and day out as a member of the school board, what would you change? What do you think is really working?
Well, I think a lot of our local industry has really jumped in and it's really helping us out. They've taken an interest in our students and their education. They're providing them opportunities to come out and work with them. Why not have some type of classes where you can come out to an industry and train and get credits, and then boom, you graduate, and hey, while you're here, you know what we're doing, so they know the good people to hire. Mm-hmm. I think those programs are really working out well for us, especially some of the students that just don't quite fit in the traditional school setting. They're recapturing their credits and they're working half days, so they're making money. Some people everybody just takes it for granted that, everybody's got two parents at work and everything's fine and dandy, but that's not the real world. So, it's nice to see them get out and see something maybe different than what they're used to seeing is, hey, I can go out and work for a living and make some money. And, I don't have to rely on other people. So it's really, and get your diploma in the process. So, like I said, it's been very helpful with our local industry all jumping in to help us, especially this time of need that we're in now.
Anything that you might want the state to work with you differently on?
How about
That's a loaded question, I know.
They make so many decisions without, it'd be like me going to my brain surgeon trying to tell him how to do an operation knowing nothing about it. Some people up there making decisions and they don't understand the process. You can read something in a book and, oh yeah, that should work like this, this, and this, but you put it in a real life setting, it doesn't work. So you got to talk to the people who are, in the situation and listen to what they have to say. It's just not, I'm here, I know better than you, do this. We got to get some better response from the state. If we don't, I am really worried about where we're going to be even 5 years from now, teacher-wise. I mean, it's already dropping off. We're seeing nobody's going into teaching like they used to. And $40-something thousand and with no way to grow that salary, it's not very appealing. It's kind of like wanting to be a policeman right now, which I just got out of after 24 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that, but then we don't know each other very well. So you left the police department to run for office, huh? Good for you.
Yeah, I wish the school board paid better.
I'm going to stay on kind of another business priority for a minute here. As a region, we think that it's very important that we grow our population. And as we grow our population, we have to be very cognizant of the fact that we've got a lot of our existing population that's essentially living in poverty. And, you know, how we help to change that is complicated, but what's apparent to everyone is that the school district has a huge role in providing social services, you know, supporting children and families. And so I think they've got a huge role in how we do better in this space. I'd love to know what your take is on how we can help the students and families to gain more stability in partnership with the school district.
Tutoring services, I mean, just basic things that these kids need that you take for granted, like dinner. I mean, we're sending packs of food home with these kids, and hopefully they're making it there. We do the program over the summer, trying to make sure these kids are fed. That's a great question. Boy, if we knew the answer to that, we wouldn't be sitting where we're at right now.
Well, I'm asking you.
The biggest thing is getting parental support and backing. You know, just when the school day is over, that doesn't mean your learning's over. You've got to have some support at home to help through this process. We see too many kids, boy, once they're out that door, they're done until they come back the next morning. That's why that's why it's so important for us to have them in school instead of virtual. There's too many things in virtual that just you don't get when you're sitting in a classroom with the teacher, hearing the other questions from the students, you know, being able to have that one-on-one communication with your teacher. So, you know, usually anytime we have really gone to the community business-wise and asked for support, there's been very, very few times that we haven't gotten it. So I'm very impressed with Evansville as a community, how we try and work together with it for our kids. But we just need to keep doing what we're doing and try and expand on it. Like I said, trying to keep these kids safe and healthy is number one. You can't learn if you don't have that first. So
that's a great point, and I'm glad to hear that you find the business community good partners, because we surely intend to be. So we've had 6 months of pandemic. Have you had any kind of key learnings or insights or things that we should think about differently personally as you look back on the past 6 months?
Personally, I have quit watching the news because
that's a good one.
You watch one channel, it says one thing. You watch another channel, it says another thing about the exact same story. You're like, I give up. So it's taking your precautions, being diligent and trying to be safe and safe for others. You know, it's the younger, the sick, you know, your elderly, those are the ones you are at highest risk. Just doing what you need to do. I mean, I've seen too many people that are out walking around in public that have tested positive recently and are like, come on, I mean, do your part to help everybody out.
You feel the schools are getting off to a pretty good start this year?
Well, we'd like to think it did. Yeah, there's always going to be bumps because everything's different. Yeah. I visited some schools. Some are going great. Some are having some real challenges with class size, trying to keep kindergarten, first, second, third graders socially distanced is like herding cats, and then you walk in and I walk in the classroom and they're stacked, 6 feet apart, up and down, and the teacher, I would look at that poor teacher and I was like, their stress level is up there, and we've got to figure out some way to give them a little relief before they blow a gasket, and then we're really in trouble.
That's probably a very good insight. We have just a few minutes left, and I want to give you a chance to kind of speak to your priority issues, what you have been championing and want to champion. What your thing is that you're interested in as you serve our community on the school board.
We have got to do a better job with the state as far as funding goes. If we can't get better teacher pay, we're not going to have any teachers. And it's not like you can just go and apply for a job and all once you're a teacher. I mean, you've got to go, obviously go through the process. It's, 4 or 5 years, whatever it's going to take you if you want to. We don't have anybody getting masters anymore because the state won't let us, pay for a master. Those are the people who teach, our advanced courses. So when our older teachers who had to get their masters are retiring, we lose those. Who's going to teach the AP classes or the dual credit classes? Kids can get college credit now, and that's an awesome thing because if you take enough of the courses, you can come out almost a sophomore in college credit-wise. And that's just that much more money you don't have to pay, when you go to school. But to me, obviously, I've always been the champion of safety in schools, being an officer, a resource officer for almost 18 years. I love doing the officer-friendly thing. But if we can't get something figured out, at least teacher-wise for pay, then we're going to be in a world of hurt. Nothing else is going to matter at that point because we don't have any teachers. I don't know what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great point.
We just got to get the state. It's not that they can't know it; they just got to do something about it.
Well, that's very clearly put, and I can completely understand that. So I appreciate that perspective. And the chamber is always going to be an active partner in working with not just EVSC, but all the school districts in the region, because your work is critical to our economy in every way. So again, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank you for serving, and wish you good luck this fall.
Thank you very much.